It's February 1st, 2021, and there's an avalanche of virtual pinball news, all coming up next. Hey everybody, it's JDV here for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Welcome on back into the Game Shack. All right, it's February 1st as I record this, and we're 1 week away from the drop date of a Star Wars virtual pinball game. But that news is being overshadowed today by some other Arcade1up news, and that is that Best Buy is taking pre-orders for Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars has been eagerly waited for game. A lot of people have decided that they weren't going to get the Star Wars game or the Marvel game, but wanted to wait for the Attack from Mars game. And that is because the Star Wars game and the Marvel game are both virtual-only pinball games. Which is to say that they never existed in real-world pinball games. They only existed virtually, were designed from the ground up only to exist on computers. And that's a lot different than this Attack from Mars game, all of which are Williams pinball tables in the real world. Now, like the Star Wars and Marvel games, you only have 10 games, you don't have any Wi-Fi connectivity, and there's no easy way, it doesn't look like, to upgrade the firmware or upgrade games, but that remains to be seen. But the games are being, pre-orders are available now, at least as I start to record this at Best Buy. Now there is some cold water to throw on this. As I predicted, this game is going for $600 now at Best Buy. So while it's good news that the game is finally available for pre-order, the bad news is it's $600. And that's $50 more than GameStop was charging for Star Wars or Marvel. Now, the game is not available for pre-order at GameStop right now, so we don't know if they're going to be charging $600 for the Attack from Mars and Star Wars and Marvel when they get more shipments in, or if that's just Best Buy trying to gouge the consumer a little bit. It's a little unclear if $600 is the new price going forward for these three units. That is a fair price, I guess, considering the marketplace and the demand. I think if there was maybe less demand, maybe we'd see that price being at $550, but it just remains to be seen. But anyway, the Attack from Mars game looks to be a beautiful unit, just like the Star Wars and Marvel game. Chrome for days, a beautiful back box, very professional, slick looking thing. Like those games, it only has a 24-inch 720p monitor. Well, I guess it's a 1080 monitor, but it's only putting out at 720. You're going to see the same sort of limitations based on the chipset there in terms of, you know, the video capacity, but it should be at 60 frames a second, so that's good news. Now, I've only seen one little review for this Attack from Mars, and now I'll post a link for it here. And it's not a terribly great review. He doesn't go through the tables or anything like that. He doesn't really talk about really heavy-duty specifics. It's kind of just more of a real-world kind of Joe Average guy, like, hey, this virtual pinball is really cool. You know, and so you do have that. But it really isn't an in-depth review, and I've expressed some concern about the lack of review units getting out to more than just really Retro Ralph and Cool Toy. I mean, they're the only people other than this one guy to get any units at all, and that's a little weird considering that, you know, that this is a multi-million-dollar company at this point, and that there's a huge amount of interest in these games. So hopefully we're not all really excited over duds. And I really don't think it's going to be that way. I think they are going to be worth waiting for. And I do think that they're probably going to be worth $600. And that's because, getting to the Atgames legend, hey, if you live in Canada, you can order the Atgames pinball right now from the brick. So that's good news if you live in Canada. We do know that all of the other pre-orders that have been put in will be fulfilled first. So I'm guessing you're looking at maybe late April, May, if you order the game right now at the brick. It does support my theory that we will not be seeing it in any large numbers here in the States until summertime at the earliest, and realistically probably not till fall. And that's too bad, because that looks like to be the coolest or the best overall value of all of the virtual pinball games from major manufacturers. But we're just not going to be able to get it here. And that's too bad, because I really would like to be able to play that game. And I really do want to have at least one machine that is playing real world pinball games virtually, which really means that it's Attack from Mars or Toy Shock's Haunted House game. Version 1 and 2, as I mentioned in an earlier video, have been sold out at Walmart, and we anticipate that the version 3, or the third generation of this unit, will hit Walmart sometime in late March or April. They haven't given any fast and firm dates on that, but that looks like that's what they're aiming for. And there's a little bit of interesting news on that front. Cool Toy did a mod on his Big Buck Hunter using a Geek Worm board, I think I'm saying that right, which allows you to swap out the stock monitor with a new larger monitor, but keep your CPU, the chipset that comes with the game. Because before, if you want to, say, switch out your 17-inch monitor with, say, a 19 or 20-inch monitor on your Arcade1up, you had to go to a RetroPie, because there was just no way to just simply increase the screen size and leave everything else stock. Well, now it looks like you can, at least for some games. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to use this same Geek Worm board and swap out the 24-inch monitor in the Haunted House game with a 30-inch monitor. And I think if you did that and added a base shaker, I think that could be a really good bang for buck if you like those tables. And I do. I grew up playing the Haunted House game. I love that game. And I've always wanted to get that particular unit from Toy Shock, but I was concerned over a flipper lag and some other things. But as they're addressing the huge bezel and the lag and other things, and now I should be able to replace the monitor, that's a pretty exciting prospect too. The Well Played pinball game is still available for pre-order at GameStop for $500. I don't think there's a lot of interest in that game. I think it is priced probably about $100 too high. I think if they really wanted to get some interest in that, it had to be around the $400 mark, even though it does have Wi-Fi and that there will be some upgradability to that, unlike Toy Shock and the Arcade1up units. There's no haptic feedback, and it seems like the tech in it is really almost 2 years old, and it needed to have either haptic feedback, some sort of way to actually affect the ball on the playing field, or it had to be cheaper. Just adding Wi-Fi with some games down the line, it just isn't quite enough for $500. Not when you have these other systems available. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. Check out my reviews of other real-world tabletop and three-quarter size pinball games. My first one is up there. And I'm going to have more reviews coming out, including for another tabletop game and the only three-quarter size real-world pinball game that you can buy. New right now. I should have a review of that up in a couple weeks, and I hope to have more news regarding the Star Wars game, including a review in a week or two, fingers crossed. I have not gotten any news from GameStop in terms of that. I haven't been told, hey, your credit card's about to be charged. My credit card hasn't been charged. They haven't indicated to me anything other than, hey, it's eventually going to be available. So hopefully we'll have some more news on that front. Well, anyway, hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up. It does really help us keep content. If you really hate this video, give me 2 thumbs down. All right, until next time, I love each other, and I'll see you in the Game Shack. Mwah! And Attack from Nars? He's a Narsian, dude. Gnarly. He's the gnarly Narsian. Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.